Salute to all my soldiers, to all my warriors, getting up every single day, getting back to it, because you can never quit and you can never surrender. Welcome back to the most hated radio show in the whole entire nation. Yada I mean? Real talk. Today is July the 9th, 2013. And on today's show, I'm going to be lecturing on religion and how religion really does have black folks in particular in a bad situation. Reason why I say black folks, because everybody to listen to the show, know this show is about black empowerment. Religion has us all messed up in a way. All races, right? But especially when it comes to the black community. This young lady, not even gonna mention her name, she swear up and down that Islam, being a Muslim, is the way to the truth. So I sat back and I listened to what she had to say about how Islam is the greatest thing and how it has helped her get through so many hard situations, and how she's been a Muslim since she was a little child, and Islam is the best thing out there. So I asked her about the Muslim wars. And when I asked her about the Muslim wars, she was taken aback by that question. For those who do not know what the Muslim wars were when the Arabs participated in the slave trade before the Europeans. Started in the 7th century and lasted all the way up until modern day. Right now it's still going on. Not as bad as it was, but slavery is still going on in Africa at the hands of Arab and African people who are Muslims. Did you know that more people died in the Muslim wars and in the Muslim slave trade than black people died in the transatlantic slave trade? So I asked her, how can this religion be a religion of liberation when in the Quran it clearly says that having slaves is okay? This is not a diss towards Islam. This is not to say that it's a bad religion. But let's just deal with the facts here. Let's just deal with the truth. As an African man, my African ancestors were forced to be Muslim. It wasn't a voluntary process. The research is there. We know that the Muslim slave traders and owners came to Africa and forced the African people to be Muslim by the sword. Muslims came from up north, came from all over the Middle East to Africa, and took my people all over the world as slaves. Many of those slaves were castrated. Many of those slaves were tortured, and it's still going on today. In Sudan, a couple men just got their arms cut off because they didn't accept Islam. Understand what I'm saying? Many of the African kings were forced to be Muslim at the hands of the Arab slave traders. And so when Europe finally came into the picture during the 20th century, and they began to take slaves out of the African continent all over the world, Spain, Brazil, America, what have you, Jamaica. Many of these slaves were sold into slavery to the European by Muslim kings. So it's safe to say that some of our ancestors were sold into slavery by Muslim people. It's just real talk. This is not a shot at Islam, because I understand there are bad people of every religion. But this conversation must be had, because every time I bring this conversation up to many of the Muslim people that I know, they don't want to talk about it. It's something they want to sweep up under the rug. And so many people who are so-called black Muslims saying that they liberating themselves don't recognize that the same thing that the Christian did to the African, the Muslim did to the African. Enslaved them, tortured them, then gave them religion. And now you have us walking around with that today. So what we must do is we got to get back to Who were our people before Islam and before Christianity? And who said what they was doing was wrong? Many people want you to believe that the ancient Africans before Islam and Christianity were savages and was witches. This is not true. They want to say that they practice voodoo and they practice all of this black magic, which was not true. Go back and do the knowledge and do the research. We come from a nature people. Understand me? And many of the ancient African religions believe in the ancestors. They ask the ancestors to guide them. And now we come to modern day America and we look at the situation of the black man in America and what we are going through. And going through a lot. Going through a hell of a lot. And I don't see how Islam or Christianity is liberating my people. Because when you go to the ghetto and you go to the hood, you see churches everywhere. You see mosques everywhere. But the problem is still there. So, preacher man, if you can't tell me how being a Muslim is going to liberate my people, it's going to get them food, clothing, shelter, proper education, employment, a business. If you can't tell me how this religion is going to help my people get those things I just stated, then what is the point of it? What is the point of it? So she gets upset with me. She gets mad and then she goes and calls some of my Malian colleagues. And she talks behind my back and she gossips and she's spreading all of these bad rumors about me, all because I question her religion, question an event that took place, that took the lives of millions of people, and people are still dying right now here today. We look at the situation in Africa, so many people starving, so many people suffering. What has Islam done? Has it saved my people, or are they still suffering? When Hurricane Katrina hit right here in the United States of America, what country, what Arab country, what African country lifted one finger to come and help the blacks of America, the Afro-Americans out? That's the question I must pose. Understand me? That's why I never allow religion to control me. Too many people are wrapped up in this whole religion thing. They're chasing something that they can never seem to find, when they should be trying to find out how they can get free. So to all the Muslim brothers and Muslim sisters, I really don't want to hear that. You want to come to my neighborhood? You want to come talk to me? You need to tell me how we can teach these young black boys to lay bricks, how to build houses, how to farm, how to change the brakes on a car, how to tie a tie, how to fix computers, how to be better fathers to their children. That's what I'm talking about. Real world stuff. Let's be realistic. Let me bring y'all back to reality. Because one thing about black folks, they love them some supernatural stuff. They so passionate that they become overly passionate in these religions that are not getting them anywhere. How many Muslim scholars are coming to America to teach the black man, to help you get up out of the situation that you in? How many of them are coming from Mecca, Medina, Saudi Arabia to help you, to help get your mama off welfare, to teach the young black man in the ghetto, in Harlem, in DC, in Oklahoma City, in Tulsa? I'm just speaking from what I see. Understand me? That's real talk. So when they ask me my religion, I say I have none. I have no religion. In the words of Dr. John Henrik Clarke, if your religion is not there to liberate you, then you should throw it in the trash can. Because so many people have used that Bible and that Quran to control and to oppress. To control and to oppress. And to make excuses for them being slave owners. Now, I know what many of the scholars out there may say. They may say, oh, well, in Islam, slavery is looked at as different. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you look at it. One man being another man's property is not right in my eyes. In no way, shape, or form are you going to get me to believe that. So I was talking to a young man, it was a couple years back, we was in class, and this was a brother from Africa, from West Africa, and we was talking about slavery in America. And he raised his hand and he said he didn't see the big deal about that because in his country he has slaves, and they are black slaves. This is a black Muslim man owning other black people. But the Arabs did it on a whole nother level. I'm talking about millions upon millions. More people than the Holocaust and the transatlantic slave trade put together. That's how many people died from their participation in the slave trade. And now you see so many Arabs coming to the black community, robbing the black community. Don't nobody want to talk about that. How they coming to the hood, selling pork, selling cigarettes, selling alcohol to the black people in the gutter and stealing their money. Not liberating them, not helping them, not doing anything positive for the black nation, but just taking, like everybody else does to the black community. So you tell me, why should I be a Muslim? There's no reason. And to all the young black people out there searching for a religion, you need to search within here and research your people before Christianity and before Islam. Because like I said before, let me reiterate, these two religions are basically the same when you really break it down. Islam is just like Christianity when they were using the Old Testament. So it's not any difference when it comes to that. But how can this change your situation? Look within yourself. Who told you that your people was bad before these religions came? Actually, they were beautiful people. And I seek to learn more about African spirituality and African consciousness before the Arabs and before the Caucasians. Because nothing good has really come out of it. Go all around the world and you see black folks suffering. But they the most religious, but they still suffering. What does that tell you? It has failed. So you can call me an atheist. You can call me what you want to call me. Because I know a lot of Muslim people out there are going to react to this video in a negative way. When I didn't say, I wasn't talking bad about your religion. I'm saying that it failed. I'm saying that it didn't work. And if you want to speak to me, you want to reach me, then you have the knowledge that I just gave to you on what I want as a black man. Money, power, respect on earth. I shouldn't have to wait till I get to the next world to get it. Assalamu alaikum. Salam. Peace. That's all I had to say. And in my Swahili language, Yahuru, that means liberation. That's what I'm talking about. I put down the Bible, I put down the Quran, and I picked up my pen. I picked up my rifle. Those are my weapons in this war, in helping my people get something and achieve something and stand up as strong people. Let's get back to the truth, y'all. Yahuru.